today I'm going to break down the 5 things that I learned as a trauma survivor. And trust me, I didn't just learn this self-belief through just doing yoga, although I love yoga and I used to do yoga all the time. But I learned this the hard way, like learning boxing with Mike Tyson back in the 80s. It's going to be a hard ride, but it's a self-taught lesson, and now I get to help people from a professional level. So number 1 is self-belief has to be undying. You have to have a self-grounded approach to no matter what's happening, you always believe in yourself. And for me, growing up as an orphan, I didn't have mom, I didn't have dad, I didn't have no uncles, no aunts, nobody. I came from a drug-addicted family. They died when I was 10. Grandma died when I was 10. And I was thrown out into the group home alone. And it was like, peace, bro. Check you later. And I knew from the time I was 10 to 18, before I aged out of the group home, that I was going to be on my own. Because I saw many of the kids who were in the group home, they got to go on home visits. And sometimes they left the group home and they got to go home with family. I never did any of that. During Christmas, the holidays, Thanksgiving, all that stuff, I was just in the group home. And I was like, yeah, man, it would be really nice to have family, but here we are with the staff. Is he leaving? Oh, damn, that guy is really leaving in the middle of the shift. Yeah, we had staff that used to leave and take breaks and come back 3 hours later. That's the reality that I had to face. And so with that reality, it taught me this: no matter what was happening in my life, no matter how down, depressed, anxious, that I was going to do it. And that's all I had as a young kid, that I was going to make it. I didn't know how, I didn't know why, and at times I felt delusional, but I was like, if I just keep believing in myself and not fucking up to the point where I can't take it back, I'm going to be all right. But let's slow it down a little bit, because number 2 is you're not always going to feel good. Like, I didn't always feel like this like superhero that I was like, yeah, I'm going to make it no matter what happens. All right, your eyes look a little crazy. Chill. Some days I felt tired. Some days I just felt like, man, I don't have it in me. I just want to watch some TV, relax. I don't want to apply for jobs. I don't want to go to work. And I felt like that a lot of times because I had all this unresolved trauma as a young kid, and I didn't know what trauma was. I was just out in the world trying to survive. And the paradox behind that is, when you do have complex trauma, the self-belief takes a lot out of you, because you don't always see results right away, especially when you don't have any support systems in place. So your mind thinks one thing, but your reality is a whole different other thing. And you have to be able to say, you know what? I don't feel good today. I'm going to just chill. I'm going to relax, and let's get back at it tomorrow, or let's get back at it on Monday. That core belief that you know you're going to do good with your life and you're going to resolve your trauma, it always has to be there, because you have to do the hard work. I always say you're not responsible for your trauma, but you're responsible for healing it, which sucks because we didn't ask to be traumatized, but we got to take control of our life and our healing process. And number 3 is, some people, they're going to tell you, dude, just give up, man. You're dreaming too big. You come from nothing. Just get whatever and do whatever just to survive. And I actually have a funny story about that. When I was about 20 years old, I was living with this girl. I was just out of college. I graduated. I was like 0.2% of kids that come from foster care who graduate from college and get a bachelor's degree, let alone 2 master's degrees. That's beside the point, and that was a little braggadocious. I don't care. Whatever. So I was living with this girl, just got out of school. I had all these dreams, these hopes, aspirations, but I didn't have a job. And she got tired of me not having a job. 2-3 months down the line went by, and I was still trying to get a job in my field. She eventually gave up on me, cheated, threw me out the house, moved in the next guy the next day. I was crushed. When I say crushed, like I didn't eat for like a month. Heartbroken as all hell. So the moral of the story is, she was telling me to basically give up on what I knew was coming. It was just going to take more time, because at that time I didn't have the experience. No one wanted to hire me. And let's just say I wasn't as refined. But people like her was telling me, just give up on your dreams. And I also had some family members that was like, dude, just get whatever and just do whatever for now. And just live your life, man. Stop always trying to preach and be Martin Luther King. And they just put me down for my beliefs, because I knew that my life wasn't going to be where I was at the moment. I never thought I was better than anyone, but I knew I could do more. And so when people tell you to give up, you have to have this undying belief in yourself that says, you know what? Just because you don't believe don't mean I don't believe. I believe. I don't know why I'm pointing myself like this, but I believe. I believe I can fly. You probably don't want to sing that song. Anyway, let's move on. So number 4 is trauma lies. When I got dumped and I got cheated on, and the next day I went to go pick up my stuff at this girl's house, and I saw flowers from someone else on the counter. God dang it. It was like, oh, God. Like someone just ripped my freaking heart out. And my trauma was telling me, you know what, Joe, you ain't shit. You're never gonna be shit. This is why she played you. You got no money. You broke. You didn't want to just get any old type of job. You wanted this one specific job and blah, 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 blah. And because of my own insecurities, my anxieties, and my complex trauma at that time that was unresolved, I started to doubt myself. Maybe I should just do this and do that. Maybe she was right. I'm not shit and I'm never gonna be shit. But fast forward almost 25, 26 years later, 2 master's degree, a successful business, great family. I believed in myself, I betted on myself, and I won with myself. I played with myself, essentially, is what I'm saying. Don't put that in there. And number 5, the one thing that I learned kind of late was rest. Part of the self-belief is gonna just drive you, especially when you learn to do things that you love and your passion becomes your work, and you find yourself like feeling better and resolving yourself, and you're in therapy and you're doing all the good work and you're exercising, you're eating healthy, you have great friends. You're gonna want to keep going. Go, 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 go. But as trauma survivors, we need to be patient with our nervous system, with our brain, with our bodies, because we run on high octane all the time. So the one thing I had to learn in trying to heal my hyper resiliency was, bro, chill, relax. It's the weekend. I'm on the floor just hanging out, stretching, watching Netflix. No pressure. I don't got to do anything. Nada. Okay? That was weird. But it sounds crazy, but when you learn how to just fight, flight, freeze, fawn all the time, to relax is an extremely foreign thing to our nervous system. But it's okay. It's a difference between relaxing and isolating and just not wanting to do with the world at all. It's okay to take a weekend off and hang out, or a day to just hang out and do nothing. Binge watch some shows and just relax. That's fine. So in some, self-belief and trauma survivors, it's not always about like being turned on into the superhero. It's about balance. It's learning how to believe in yourself, but taking care of yourself, how to work really hard, but learning how to relax, how to listen to the positive people and forget about the people who are going to play you, shit on you, not believe in your dreams. Because when your dreams are not yet turned into something that's tangible, most people are going to be like, nah, I'm out. Peace, bro. But if you don't believe in yourself, you're going to give up and you're going to listen to the naysayers. If you believe in yourself and you overcome that and you heal your trauma and you listen to your strong inner voice that many of us trauma survivors have, because we had to be so resilient, you will be amazed at what you can accomplish. Trust me, bro. I'm living proof. I'm not one of those guys who say, because I did it, you can do it, but you have your own journey and we all have our own journey, and my sweat and back of my head is getting crazy. On that note, leave your like, leave your subscription, and I'll catch you next time.